Hello, Gemini. What is up with you guys? How are y'all doing? It's time to go ahead and get some mid-month messages on the table for you here today, okay? So basically, what I'm just looking for is change timelines. That's the meaning of the mid-month messages, at least here on my channel. Because in my readings, I like to give advice. In my personal opinion, the advice is the most important part of the reading. And if you take the advice collectively, it does have the potential to change your timeline. For those of you who would like to find out how to schedule a personal reading, please check the description box of this video. Also, for those of you who may not have caught the memo, I have released a new course in my School of Self-Mastery. So we obviously have the tarot reading course, $11.11. And I've added a new one, How to Attract Your Life Partner, Explained Energetically. The last time I checked, I didn't see anybody else on the internet explaining how to attract your life partner strictly from a perspective of energy, frequency, and vibration. Somebody may be out there doing it. Not saying they're not. I'm just saying I haven't seen it. So I've gone ahead and added a course, How to Attract Your Life Partner, Explained Energetically, and it's only $19.95 if you're interested in that. It's all on my website, tarotwithrich.com, and my website is in the description of this video. All right, let's jump into it. Thank you, Chuck, for that super chat. Appreciate you. Thank you. All right, we're starting these off here with the person from the past. If you're not inquiring about somebody from the past, this is not for you. Still need to adjust my camera a little bit here, don't I? Hang on a second. Cutting the top of my head off there. There we go. Okay. I'm constantly experimenting with new angles, so now I'm zooming on my face a little bit more. And okay, all right. Gemini and the person from the past. Oh, that's yelling at me. Ace of Pentacles. Hang on. There may be some action here, finally. Maybe. Don't get your hopes up. You never know. Hang on a second, though. It's almost ready. One more. Last one. All right. The Chariot. Okay. So, I mean, honestly, I am kind of feeling like more than likely the two of you are probably going to have a conversation. More than likely. But for those of you who were looking forward to reconciliation, I don't know about all that. I'm honestly kind of feeling like this conversation is just strictly so whoever it is that's wanting to have the conversation can move on and move forward. That's what it's looking like for me. Yep. Because I kind of feel like, honestly, I feel like both of you have pretty much given up hope on this for the most part. So this is all about making peace with the past and, you know, untying and making right any unfinished business, because there is unfinished business, or the feeling of unfinished business. See, unfinished business is so subjective. So subjective. I mean, most people who feel a feeling of unfinished business can't even really explain it. Guarantee you there's a lot of you who feel unfinished business, but you can't really explain it. Clients come to me all the time and they tell me, I just feel this unfinished business for some reason. And again, that's very subjective. That all has to do with how you perceive the experience. So that trails off and turns into a different topic for a different video. But yeah, I am kind of feeling like, but with the Two of Wands here, Ace of Pentacles, it's moving kind of slow, but I am kind of feeling like the two of you are gonna end up having a conversation. It kind of feels accidental to me too, like the two of you bump into each other out in public, or something like that. Or you somehow end up communicating on the same comment thread somehow, some way. I don't know how to really explain. It just kind of feels like it's a little bit accidental. I don't think you are taking conscious action towards pursuing this person. I don't really think they're taking conscious action towards pursuing you. I feel like y'all are both just kind of sitting stagnant when it comes to this, but the universe is bringing the two of you together. Because y'all are just you're both carrying too much vibrational baggage and too much weight from this connection. And both of you need to be able to move forward. Let's see their feelings and their intentions. Let's see this person's feelings and intentions. How do they feel about you? What do they want with you? Let's see. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. 6 of Wands. You know what? Lover's card reverse. They don't really know how to start a conversation with you. They're afraid that you might still be holding a grudge. I kind of find that hard to believe. Trying to think off the top of my head, I don't think I've ever personally met a Gemini that's a big grudge holder. So I kind of find that a little bit hard to believe that you'd be holding a grudge. Maybe some of you are, though. I could be wrong, but I think they're a little bit worried that you might be. So they're not 100% sure exactly how to go about breaking the ice with you. But they are very concerned about your opinion of them. They're very concerned about your opinion of them. They really hope that you perceive them in a manner in which you are seeing them move forward and do better. They want you to think that they're moving on and doing better, basically. Are they? Honestly, I don't feel like they've made much of a change in their life at all. Now, I don't especially I tell this to my personal clients all the time. I don't really have permission to dive in and spy on the personal details of their personal private life. There's probably plenty of readers out there who will do that. I just know that will cross the line into black magic, using this for the wrong reasons, selfish reasons. I don't do that. I follow a strict moral code in this work that I do. But I can tell you the energy that is resonating off of this person, and it does not look like they have, based on the energy resonating from them, it doesn't look like they've made much progress. Not really. Not a whole lot of progress. Pretty much, I don't think that they're doing any worse, really. I just think that they've plateaued for the most part. They're very much still spinning in the same circles that they were spinning in back when y'all were together. Whatever problems they were dealing with, they're still dealing with the same shit. If they were struggling with some sort of addiction problem, they're still struggling with it. If they were, I don't know, experiencing financial issues, they still struggling with that. They ain't making no more money. They haven't put the alcohol down or the drug down or whatever it was they were struggling with. They haven't released whatever demons were attached to them. So, but they want you to think they have. Let's look at the outcome of this situation then. What's the outcome of the situation? What is the outcome of the situation? Boom, boom, boom. Let's see. Boom! Knight of Wands in the reverse. Page of Cups, though. Okay, 10 of Swords. Yeah, like I said, I kind of feel like the two of you are going to be brought together kind of like accidentally. And again, because we're dealing with so many different people in different types of situations, take that however it resonates. Maybe you'll see them out somewhere, or maybe, like I said, y'all will end up commenting on the same comment thread somehow, some way. I don't know. Y'all are going to be brought together, and it doesn't really feel like it's going to be a really deep, profound conversation that the two of you have. It's going to be more like an opportunity for you to see them for who they really are, if that makes sense. Has that ever happened to you before? You're connected with somebody, and it doesn't have to be romance. It could be a friend. It could be whatever. And the two of you have a falling out, and then you just still be holding on to that for like 6 months to a year, and you don't realize the solution that you're doing, and then you end up seeing them again. It's like than there was before, and you're like, oh, why was I tripping over you? What was wrong with me? I see you for who you really are now. You know, it's kind of what I feel like is going to happen, because we got this death card and this King of Swords here, kind of indicating to me that whatever unfinished business you're still holding on to, whatever unanswered questions that you have, whatever feelings you still may be holding on to, you're able to just let go of all that by default. Any unanswered questions that you have are answered in an instant. Usually when you have unanswered questions like that, and then they get answered in an instant, you realize you knew the answers to the questions the whole damn time. Let me see if there's any advice here. This is interesting. This is an interesting message. I'm kind of liking how this is coming through. What's the advice for this situation? Advice for Gemini. Boop. Okay, the hair in the reverse. Man, I know y'all get so sick of hearing me talk about this. Hang on, let me see if anything else wants to come out. I'm getting sick of hearing me talk about it. That's what it is. I'm projecting it onto you. Maybe you are, maybe you aren't, but I'm getting sick of talking about it. But hang on, let me see if anything else wants to come out first. Hang on. Strength card reversed. Okay. Yup. All right. Okay. Okay. Look, the most important thing that you can do is pay very close attention to the lessons that you learned in the past. Now, I know that's such an annoying thing to hear, but it's not just learning the lesson. Learning the lesson isn't the end all be all. You hear people say that all the time. Well, I learned my lesson. But the question is not, did you learn the lesson? It's, how are you applying that lesson to your life? That's the question. Learning the lesson is only like, that's the first step of the process. So the question is, are you able to take that lesson and apply it to your life and give that experience and that lesson credit for how it's improving your life? Does that make sense? This is how you completely and fully transcend and transmute unfinished business, anything that has hurt you in the past. Because whenever something happens to you that hurts, or maybe it's something that was unexpected, whenever you can take the lesson and apply that lesson to your life, and then it improves your life and makes your life better moving forward, now it behooves you to take a look back at the experience that taught you that lesson and express gratitude. Now, every time that comes to mind, you immediately think, yeah, but if that hadn't happened, I wouldn't be here. So, you know what? I'm glad that happened that way. This is what takes you off the karmic wheel. This is what will shred any karmic contract by default. It'll take you off the karmic wheel by default, because that word karma is a blanket that covers an unlimited number of different types of situations. And the only way that you can really throw a blanket over the word karma is unfinished business, unresolved unfinished business from a previous lifetime. And once you take a look back at an experience and you express gratitude for how it's improving your life, it's no longer unfinished business because now I've redefined the meaning behind that experience. Now the experience has a meaning. Once the experience has a meaning, it's not unfinished business. The business is finished. That experience has a meaning. That was meant to happen so that this could happen. This would not have happened this way had that not happened that way. That makes sense? You know it makes sense. You know it does. That's how you heal. Real talk. And you have the ability to do that with anything that has ever happened to you in your life. Even when it comes to the most traumatic things that we humans can experience, you still have the ability to transcend it and transmute it like that. You sure do. All right, enough of that. Okay. All right, hopefully there's some new faces in here that haven't heard me talk about that before. All right, let's look at who's coming in next. What's coming in next for Gemini? What's coming in for Gemini? Mm-hmm. Eight of Pentacles reversed. This is a little side story. I'm just going to toss this to the side. For those of you who are interested in somebody at the workplace, I'm being told that's not a very good idea right now. If you're not interested in somebody at the workplace, chuck that. Don't worry about that. But I know there's at least one or two of you who crushing so hard on somebody at the workplace, wishing to God somebody that you work with would come forward with a love offer. I'm being told to tell you that right now that is not a very smart idea. I don't know why. It's not telling me why. If that resonates, take it. If it don't, chuck it in the fuck it bucket. All right. Wooey, shooey, dooey, and Louie. There's that Gemini card. Could be another Gemini for some of you, but I don't think that's what it is. All I'm getting here is that the next person due to come in is going to be a really, really, really intense connection. It's going to be a connection so intense that this next chapter in your life is going to completely transform you as an individual. This is going to be one of them types of connections that turns your life upside down and inside out, has you questioning everything you thought you knew about yourself. Boy, I'm gonna tell you what, this ain't no joke. With the Death card, Lover's card, and the Death card, look at all this major arcana I have here. We got Aries, Aquarius, Scorpio, and Gemini here. And honestly, is the next person coming in somebody that you already know? I don't think it's somebody that you already know, but I think it's somebody that already has their eye on you. Like, for example, it could be some random Facebook friend that you don't really pay attention to. Has that ever happened to you before? That ever happened to you? You get a random friend request and you go check the profile out and you're, okay, well, you seem legit. You don't seem like a weirdo, so confirm. And you just kind of forget about it. They never hit like on none of your shit. You forget they're even there. And then all of a sudden, like 6 months later, something brings the two of you together. Has that ever happened before? I'm not saying that's exactly how it's going to happen, but the energy behind that analogy. Somebody that I think kind of has an eye on you that you wouldn't expect. So, yeah. Okay. So, I mean, some of you may know who this person is, but is it somebody that you're currently interested in? I don't think so. I do not think so. Now, let's go back to the side story about a relationship at the workplace. For those of you who are wanting to be into a relationship with your boss, you have to leave the workplace. It's not going to happen while they're still in the same workplace. Again, side story. If it resonates, take it. If it don't, chuck it. Okay. Well, let's look at this person's energy. Let's look at their energy. Oh, got that Ace of Cups, though. Okay. Yeah, they're waiting on the right opportunity right now. I think this is somebody that has their eye on you. They're waiting on the right opportunity and they're afraid of rejection. Also, they are dealing with karmic soulmate from their past as well. So I'm kind of feeling like they're at a point where they got their eye on you. They're wondering whether or not to put all their eggs in the basket of getting with you or reconciling with a past person. They're at a crossroads. They're not 100% sure. They're kind of weighing out their options right now. They're afraid of rejection. They don't know if you'll have they're afraid that you'll have a bad attitude towards them. This may be somebody you already know. Scratch that. I don't think it's somebody that you don't know. I just don't think it's somebody that you would expect. Does that make sense? So, okay. I think it's somebody that you know of, but just have never thought about being with. Or maybe just didn't think about it at great length, you know? Okay. Well, as far as the energy check on this person, though, it checks out to me. I'm not seeing... I mean, the only thing that I'm kind of getting here with the King of Wands upright, King of Cups reversed, is they're not playing games, but they may be a little bit emotionally closed off, especially if you're dealing with a man. Most men, King of Pentacles. Look at all these kings we have here. We got 3 kings, and the only one in the reverse is the cups. So I don't think that this person's playing games. They're not fucking around. They're not trying to manipulate you. They just are a little bit emotionally closed off and afraid to show their feelings. And again, especially if you're dealing with a man, what is one of the top 3 primary reasons why men are afraid to show their emotions? What's one of the top 3 reasons? I'm not saying this is the number 1 reason, but if there was 3 top reasons, they did it before and it got used against them. And they never want to do that again. Very simple. And that is a real issue in today's day and age. Everybody's all about men need to be more emotional. Men need to show their emotions. Men need to do this and men need to be more vulnerable. And then when a man does it, it gets used against him. And then he backs up and says, I ain't never fucking doing that shit again. I done did it and it got used against me. So guarantee you this person has probably, I know not everybody's dealing with a man. But we had 3 kings there. So that's the reason why I said that. A lot of masculine energy in that person's energy. Okay. Either way, though, doesn't matter if it's a man or a woman. This person's still a little bit emotionally closed off for whatever reason. All right. Well, let's see the outcome of the first month of this person coming into your life. Outcome for the first month. Okay. Ooh, 7 of Swords reversed. Two of Wands, Page of Swords. Y'all just talking at first. Y'all are just talking. But the connection's getting really intense really quickly. Yep. I think you are making the decision. Well, you're not making a decision. The decision you're making is just to keep it at talking for a little bit while you get to know this person. Not really wanting to accept a love offer. Not really wanting to, come forward and jump head first into something. But the connection is getting really, really, really intense, really, really quickly. And the more you just kind of sit and wait, the heavier it's getting. The more it's starting to turn into kind of a burden. I think the more intense the connection gets, the more it kind of scares you a little bit, because you're wanting to avoid a worst case scenario. You're wanting to make sure this liar. I don't think they are. I'm not seeing any energy that would indicate that they are. But yeah, you're doing the best you can, at least for the first few weeks, to kind of try to keep your feelings to yourself for the most part. They're doing the same thing. Y'all are kind of mirroring each other in that aspect. And eventually it's going to get so heavy that I do think that eventually somebody's coming forward with a love offer eventually here. Probably be close to about a month before that happens, though. What's the advice? Advice. What's the advice? Okay, 4 cups. Ten of Swords reversed. Well, just be very mindful of your energy. Just be mindful of your energy. We always got to constantly check our own vibration. If it's starting to get too heavy, this is tricky. Because obviously, you know, when we're first getting to know somebody, we want to observe them. And you don't want to just ask them, so are you a liar? Because you know they're not going to be like, well, yep, actually, I'm a liar. I'm a liar and I'm a cheater. I'm full of shit, you know, so I'm just here to waste your time and play games with you. Of course, they're not going to say that. So you want to watch them. You want to study them. You want to see how they behave, you know, around other people and whatnot. So just do the best that you can not to sit around and fantasize about how bad it would hurt if a worst case scenario happened. You got to put yourself in that vibrational state of, like, even if something bad does happen, whatever. If it works, it works. If it don't, it don't. I think it will. I think it will. But don't lay around and drive yourself nuts. Now, let's go ahead. Let's go way out on a limb here. Let's say they start getting all funny and weird, inconsistent, you know, on and off and in and out, acting one way one day, another way another day, and they just get more and more and more inconsistent. Then just back away. Don't be afraid to back away from something if it feels weird, if it feels off. I was telling that to a client a couple days ago. When it starts feeling weird, if that weird persists and persists and persists, then back away from it. Bring it up to them. Let them know. Like, yo, you're not really communicating very well. I don't know what's going on with you. Could you communicate a little bit better what's going on? Do the best that you can, maybe, because sometimes maybe that's just how they are as a person. You never know. I've had that happen before. Somebody's a horrible communicator, and you just kind of got to step back and watch them. Like, are you hiding something, or is that just who you are as a person? And like, I mean, honestly, there are some people out there who are just bad at communicating, but they have good intentions. And this is where you just have to watch and observe. Watch how they treat other people. That's what you want to do. You know, like say you're dealing with somebody that's a horrible communicator, horrible at texting back and whatnot. Pay attention to what they do when you're around them. Like, you're around them, their phone's laying out, and then they get a text message, and then they're like, oh, okay, I'll get that in a little bit. And then they forget about it. It's like, oh, okay, I see how you do. You're busy. You're busy. You're not just ignoring somebody for no reason. You ignore people when you're busy, and then you're a bad communicator, and then you forget to text back. It happens. It happens. But, like, If you just really feel that something is off, it's off. And if it doesn't get any better, you're not seeing any evidence to substantiate that they have good intentions, it's off. Don't be afraid to walk away from a connection. Okay. I don't think it will, though. I just had to throw that out there. General messages. General messages for Gemini. General messages for Gemini. Mm-hmm. Boom. Okay, this is general, career, finance, friends, family, anything but romance. Okay, we got the 4 wands in the reverse here. So for those of you, there's a lot of you know that it's time to make some kind of change. Like maybe it's time to start a new job or time to expand your business or something, but for whatever reason, it just does not feel like that door wants to open. And that happens. That's a normal part of the process. It's very, very normal. You feel the ending to this cycle coming, but no new doors are opening. For those of you who had a falling out with a family member in the past, I do feel like you will be reconciling with this person, but I don't think you're going to rekindle the relationship. I think you're going to make peace with the past, let it be what it is, and go about your merry way. Oh, wow. A lot of family issues are coming through here. Some of you got issues with your dad. Now, I know it's not everybody, but I have to throw it out there. If you had a falling out with your father, like I said, I do feel like you're making peace with the past, but you're still walking away from this person because just because you make peace with this person and just because you forgive and patch things up and whatnot, that doesn't mean that they are not still a toxic person. People get forgiveness so mixed up. Me forgiving you doesn't mean that I let you come back into my life. Now, it doesn't have to be your dad. This could be anybody. Could be your dad, could be your mom, could be your aunt, could be your uncle, could be a friend that was close enough to be family. Whoever this is, forgiveness, if I forgive you, that doesn't mean you're welcome back in my life. Oh, no, it doesn't. Oh, no. Because you have to understand the truth of the matter. Currently, where we are collectively, most people don't change. They just don't. They just don't. Change is too uncomfortable. Change is not hard. It's just uncomfortable. People say change is hard. It's really not hard. It's just uncomfortable. That's all it is. It's actually easy. It's actually really easy. It's just uncomfortable. And most people don't do it. So, yep, I see you making peace with whoever this was you fell out with, but you're walking away. And this really helps you regain your sanity and return back to balance as well. But you know that you're walking away and avoiding future conflict because this person is still toxic. Maybe some of you had a falling out with a family member who has an addiction or alcoholism problem. They still have it. If you got into an argument with your alcoholic father or something like that, he's still an alcoholic, meaning he still has that demon attached to him. Making peace, that's a good thing, but that doesn't mean that you have to let this person back in your life just because you forgive them. Okay. All right. Well, that's all that came through there. Those were kind of sporadic, weren't they? Sporadic messages. Okay. General advice. General advice. Ooh, the 3 of Swords, though. Hermit. For those of you, I have a feeling it's some of you. Hang on. Okay. So If you are at a place in life where you feel very alone, I have a feeling that's probably a good number of you. You feel very alone. The universe, it feels like the universe has grabbed you up and put you over here in the corner all by yourself. And it just doesn't seem like anybody is really wanting to come into your life. Anything really serious and long term is wanting to come into your life, and you feel very alone and lonely. The reason for that, the universe is actually doing you a favor. It's doing you a favor. You have to understand that whatever vibrational state you're in, you are a magnet to other people who are in the same vibrational state as you. Whatever vibrational state that may be, when you attract a person into your life, the two of you coming together as one whole will begin to manifest a connection, situations, and relationships that resonate harmoniously with that vibrational state. That makes sense? So if I'm vibrating at a frequency that resonates with pain, sadness, and emptiness, well, the only thing I can attract into my life is probably a trauma bond. Another person whose vibration resonates harmoniously with pain, sadness, and emptiness. And then if I bring a person into my life on the vibrational state of pain, sadness, and emptiness, then what happens? That pain, that sadness, and that emptiness is what starts manifesting itself between the two of us. If we keep that energy like locked into place, and we're not doing any healing, we're not doing any energy work, which a lot of people don't. Speaking of which, the Eight of Pentacles reverse came out. A lot of people don't. So trust the process. See, I can promise you, a question I get all the time, the right path. There's a really easy way to find out. If I just take a step back, relinquish control, and let go, what will happen? Am I being pushed in a different direction? Is the path that I'm on, does it feel like the universe is trying to pull me off that path? Am I experiencing roadblocks? Not challenges, not obstacles, but roadblocks that are straight up preventing me from making progress. I'm telling you, not little annoying challenges and obstacles. I'm talking straight up roadblocks that are absolutely preventing you from making progress. If not, then yes, you're right where you're supposed to be, going through exactly what you're supposed to be going through, doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing. Very simple. Very, very simple. Trust the process. See if any other advice wants to come out. That was a little too general, I think. A little bit too general. No, I guess not then. Nine of Pentacles. For those of you who have felt very alone and lonely right now, the universe is doing it for a reason. The universe is doing it for a reason. As far as any friendships or anything like that, I can't say it's not the right time, because the universe doesn't really use very strict time frames. The universe uses very loose, bendable time frames. But right now, you're not at a stage, you're not at that point to where you are at a vibrational state that will align with the next person who's due to come in, who aligns with your highest calling. And that doesn't have anything to do with romance. I'm talking friendships, whatever kind of connections that you're wanting to make. So at any given time, take a step back and just say, okay, universe, I trust that I'm right here right now because this is where you want me. I'm trusting that because I don't believe that you're a fucking moron. I believe that if you didn't want me here, either I wouldn't be here or you would really strongly be pushing me in a different direction. Now, let's say it does feel like you're being pulled in a different direction, but you're standing in your own way because you're too scared to do it. Well, that's something that you're going to have to kind of go through in your own mind. If I'm being pushed in a different direction and I'm scared and I'm freaked out because I don't understand how this is going to work, this doesn't make any sense. There's too much risk involved. This is too big of a chance. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. After a certain point, with the universe, the first thing it'll do is it'll put up a sign. Go this way. And then we ignore it. And then it'll put up a bigger sign. And then we ignore it. Then it'll put up a big flashing sign. And then we ignore it. And then it starts taking the wheel and trying to pull it in this direction. And we try to pull it back in this direction. And it pulls a little bit harder and we pull a little bit. And then the universe is pulling us to the point to where we're losing control and we're about to go and crash. After a certain point, take a step back and say, all right, then, universe, you show me where we're supposed to go. Whatever door you open, I'll go through it. Whatever door you slam shut in my face, I'll quit trying to kick it down. So a spiritual evolution, ascension, and manifestation path, there is a lot of that path is allowing. People try too hard to figure out logically. I'm not saying don't try to figure anything out logically. I'm just saying that logical thinking and planning and figuring out is only about 10% of that path. A lot of it is allowing, not having a clue what's coming up next and being okay with that. All right. Well, I feel like those were the messages that my Gemini friends needed to hear. So I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. Thank you all again for tuning in and playing along. I greatly appreciate all of the love, support, and positive feedback. Y'all are still showing me after 5 long years on here. Every time I get on here and do this, makes my job worthwhile here on YouTube, y'all. I greatly appreciate you. Don't forget to check the description of this video if you would like to find out how to schedule a personal reading. Purchase my tarot reading course for $11.11, or my new course, How to Attract Your Life Partner, explained energetically, for $19.95. Everything is in the description of this video, y'all. All right, I'm out of here now. I wish you love, luck, light, and prosperity on your journey. Y'all stay blessed.